Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Timothy, and on the channel we speak everything personal finance. And I'm super excited to talk about today's video because it's about saving, which is one of my favorite things to do when it comes to finances. I love investing, I like spending, but I love saving. I love seeing my savings account grow every month. And today we're going to be talking about how you can save $1,000 in 30 days. Now, it might sound like it's a very difficult thing to do, but I promise if you follow these steps and if you can incorporate these habits into your life, then you will be able to save $1,000 in 30 days. And hopefully you can save more than that as time goes on, or you just continue to save $1,000 a minimum every month. Now, a lot of Americans are not able to save $1,000, and that's fine. I save more than $1,000 a month because I follow these rules, and there's other things that I do to save $1,000 a month. But it is very possible for you to save $1,000 a month or in 30 days. Like I said, this may seem like a big challenge, especially with today's rising costs, but trust me, it is something that you can do, and it's very possible as long as you have the right plans in place. Now, here's why saving $1,000 is important. Now, according to Forbes Advisor, 1 in 4 Americans do not have $1,000 in their savings. And with the rising costs in every aspect of life, saving this $1,000 is getting harder and harder to do. But it's super important to do, especially if you ever have any kind of emergencies that pop up, whether it's a vehicle issue, a medical bill, or any other financial issue. This $1,000 can provide a great buffer to help you navigate those issues. And by hopefully having this $1,000, you won't rely on credit cards and going more into credit card debt to make it through. The first thing we're going to do is write it down. We're going to write down why we want to save $1,000. We're going to write down our goals. It is super important to have goals, especially when it comes to finances. What is your goal? Why do you want to save $1,000? And if we continue to go back towards this goal of why we want to save $1,000, it will help drive us to complete this goal. So you might say you want to save $1,000 because you want to begin an emergency fund. Now, why do you want to begin an emergency fund? Because we don't want to go into more credit card debt? Is it because we're tired of not having enough for certain expenses that come up in a month? You have to ask yourself these questions so you can get your why of why you want to save $1,000. This is something that I did when I was in college. I found out my wife had like $10,000 in her savings account at 21 years old. And I said, what the heck? I didn't know that a 21-year-old or someone in their early 20s in college can have that much money in their savings account. So my why was, I want to have as much money as her. Why? Because it just felt good to have $1,000 in my savings account. It felt like I had a buffer. Like I said, it felt like I had a safety net for something were to happen. I would have the money in my savings account to pay for it, and I would have to call my parents or use my credit card, which I don't even know if I had a credit card back then, but I wouldn't have to call my parents or just try to find where the money is going to come from. I can kind of handle my things on my own. So grab a pen and write your why, and then write it a couple times on paper and put it on a mirror, put it in your bedroom, put it somewhere where you're going to see it every day so you can remember why you're saving this $1,000. Why are you cutting back on expenses? Why are you cutting back on subscriptions and all these other things in order to save this $1,000? By doing this, it will help you reach your goal 10 times faster. Now, the second thing you want to do to save $1,000 in 30 days is to make more money. Now, it's easier than it sounds to just make more money. All you got to do is go out there and get another job or get a side hustle, but it's not as easy as you think. But you have to remember your goal. Your goal is to save $1,000 in 30 days because you don't want to rely on credit card debt anymore. So this is going to be a temporary thing. You're not going to be working another job forever. Maybe work another job for 2 or 3 months or 6 months, however long you want to work it. But if you can kind of focus on your goals, then it will help drive you to get another job or to work on that side hustle. This is something I did. I explained this in many of my videos that in my early 20s, my goal was to save for my wife's ring. And I couldn't save the money fast enough with my main W-2 job. So I had to get a side job at Walmart. So I was going to work at Walmart at 1 o'clock in the morning every Saturday and Sunday, or whatever days I had off. So I was working a full 8-hour shift 2 days a week on my off days so I can save for this ring. I knew this was temporary because once I saved the money, I was out. I knew it was also temporary because I was about to move to a new state. I was about to have a new job. So I knew that I can work at Walmart for a year or maybe a year and a half. I was working there and making extra money. And then when I saved for my wife's ring, I was able to keep generating money from Walmart and move that money to a savings account, and where I saved for my down payment for my duplex here in Michigan. There's a lot of power when it comes to having a second job or just getting that extra income. There's other things you could do like Amazon Flex, which is something that's very popular right now, which is basically delivering packages in your own vehicle, or Uber Eats, Grubhub. There's many different ways that you can make extra income with the resources that you have. I know that you might think just because you get paid to work here in the US that you should be able to afford things, and you should, but nowadays that is just not the case. And sometimes you're going to have extra income. Sometimes you're going to have to pick up a side hustle, or you're going to have to pick up overtime so you can make ends meet. And that's okay. It's just the world we live in now. Another great way to get extra cash is by selling everything. You don't gotta sell everything, but there's a lot of stuff that we can sell. There's a lot of stuff that we don't use. Even us, you should see the room around me. There's just stuff all around me. Right here, I see a dog cage. I could probably sell that dog cage for $15. I could probably sell it for $30. It's a nice dog cage. And I can put that towards my $1,000 saving goal. So when you pair selling stuff with generating extra income, say extra $500 to $1,000 a month, and then creating that plan so you can stick to your goals, we're starting to stack up and seeing how we can actually save $1,000 in 30 days. I know you have stuff that you don't use. I know you have clothes that you don't use. There's shoes in your closet right now that you don't use. My brother had so many Jordans, and I just thought, imagine how much he would make if he actually sold those Jordans, because he barely wore them. Imagine how much he would actually make if he actually sold those Jordans and put that towards investing or wherever you wanted to put it. But I know that you have a storage container, you have a storage unit full of things that you don't even use. You haven't been to your storage unit in 6 months, but you're still paying the storage unit fee, which is crazy to me. Sell stuff. Go on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, and sell stuff. Just put stuff up there for sale and see if someone wants to take it. Another thing we need to do is create a budget. So if you're not budgeting already, this is going to be a game changer. Budgeting is used so you can know where all your money is going. It's something that I do to this day. Now, my budget is not as strict, but it is a budget. I know when I start spending a certain amount of money on my cards that, we're getting up there. When we start spending about $2,000 to $2,500 a month, yeah, we gotta calm down. But if we're at $900 and it's the 25th of the month, oh man, we're having a party. But if we're at $2,500 and it's the 16th of the month, yeah, something happened. So what you can do is a zero-based budget, which is tracking every line item. So we're talking about having a budget for electricity, we're talking about having a budget for gas, we're talking about having a budget for groceries, we're talking about having a budget for going out to eat, we're talking about having a budget for your phone bill. There's all these different line items that you put, so every dollar gets a job. No dollar is just out there floating. We know exactly how much is going to savings every month. So zero-based budget is a great thing that you can do if you're going to save your $1,000 in 30 days. And if you're going to save $1,000 in 30 days, you want to put the minimums to your debt, because we're kind of focusing right now on the savings. So with the zero-based budget, you're going to put all the money towards your essentials, and then what's ever left over is going to go to this emergency fund or this $1,000, and that will help you find out how much you're going to be able to save each month. With inflation affecting everyone, cutting back on these extra expenses will help you tremendously. So be sure to budget if you're going to save this $1,000 in 30 days. Speaking of cutting expenses, let's cut your expenses. We're going to cut expenses. We're going to cut back on subscriptions. We're going to cut back on going out to eat. We're going to cut back on all these non-essential things if we're going to save $1,000 in 30 days. If you spend $1,000 going out to eat and then you expect to save $1,000, but you make $4,000 or $3,000 a month, and your mortgage is $1,500, groceries, and you have debt payments, you're not going to save $1,000. So you really need to be able to find a way to cut back on expenses. Look at your zero-based budget and see where you can cut back. Are you able to cut back on going out to eat? Can you not go out to eat for one whole month? Can you not spend $300 for going out to eat and actually put that through your emergency fund? Can you actually put that to your $1,000 that you're going to be saving this month? Find places in your budget where you can cut. One thing I was able to cut in my budget was car insurance. My phone bill got cut in half. Even my homeowner's insurance got cut in half because I just shopped for rates. I shopped companies and I made cuts, and then the money that was freed up from cutting those expenses was then moved to my savings account. So cutting expenses is very important. So imagine that you cut these expenses, but then you also increase your income by doing side hustles or getting a second job. You're creating a budget. As you can see, it's just piling up, and before you know, you're gonna have $1,000 saved, and before you know, you're gonna have $1,000 saved in 30 days. And another thing you need to be doing is meal planning. So now that you're not going out to eat this month or next month because you're cutting back on going out to eat because we're focused, we have this goal to save $1,000, we're going to meal plan. We're going to plan out what we're going to eat for the rest of the month. So when we go to work, we're not going out to eat with our coworkers because we bought some rice, chicken, and broccoli, because we bought some rice, chicken, and sweet potatoes. We're going to plan these things out, and we're going to go to the grocery store. We're going to go buy these things. We're going to cook them in bulk, and we're going to put them in glass containers with lids, and we're going to line it up in the fridge and make it look all nice and clean looking, because we are on a goal to save $1,000 in 30 days, because we've never saved $1,000 that fast. And once you save this $1,000, you're going to feel so good, and it might just spark something inside of you where you're going to become a saver, where you're going to save more money, and you're not going to feel the squeeze that the economy is putting on you. You're going to feel liberation because you're able to save money. You're able to invest in an economy where everyone is talking about how bad it is and how hard it is to live here. But because you sacrifice, because you cut your expenses, you're going to be living lavishly, hopefully. But this is how you're going to save $1,000 by meal planning. It's super important to go grocery shopping over going out to eat, because the groceries will last you way longer and they're way cheaper in the long run. There you have it, a solid plan on how you can save $1,000 in 30 days. I hope you guys can really break down this video and take notes and go back in the video and try to incorporate these things into your life. And even if it takes a little bit longer to save $1,000, the most important thing is to stick with it, is to stay consistent and save your money. And don't forget, you can automatically save your money by automating your savings and putting it from your checking account. Maybe on the first of each month, a certain amount of money goes to your high yield savings accounts. The automation is a key aspect in order to save $1,000 in 30 days, because you're not leaving it to yourself, you're leaving it to the system. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.